What up, YouTube? This is your host of Building Better Lives podcast. I want to talk to you today about a few things that I felt like it should be common sense by now, but apparently it's not. So before we get started on the topic, if you can go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button for me, it really help me out. I greatly appreciate it. But the topic for today is an old phrase, old saying, everything that glitters isn't gold. You know, when I was growing up, this was a common saying. And you could apply this to any number of things, right? Whether it was a deal that was too good to be true, or almost anything. But what I want to apply it to is women. A lot of times we as men equate beauty with what's the word we're looking for? We equate beauty with purity, or we equate beauty with a good personality, or this person must be good because they look good. I mean, and that's a problem for society as a whole, but it's definitely a problem when it comes to men looking at women that they want to date, right? So example, guy sees this beautiful woman out and about, and he's immediately awestruck because men are visual creatures, right? So he throws the whole kitchen sink at this woman to date her, right? He goes out of his way to impress this woman, and the majority of the time she may not even be interested in you, and she is entertaining you is to get some of your resources, right? She may be bored, you're the fallback guy. And I'll tell you how you all can tell if you're the fallback guy. If she agrees to a date and then she flakes on you, and that's a constant thing for her to flake on you, that means you're her option if she can't get anything else done, right? You're the guy that if she has dinner plans with you on Friday, but the guy she really wants to date, comes through, then she flakes on you, right? She's the girl that if she is inviting you to go places with her, she's inviting you last minute because she didn't have the other plans didn't work, right? And so that's one way you can definitely see if you are the fall guy. The other way, the fall guy, man, if you gotta do too much to get this woman to hang out with you, if she doesn't want to go on dates with you to unless they're expensive dates, and she suggests the expensive restaurants to go to, you're the fall guy, right? And if you got to do all that to get a woman, you shouldn't be dating her. And this applies to everything, but it especially applies to beautiful women, because guys will go out of their way for these beautiful women, right? They will do things that even if you wouldn't normally do that for any other female, because she's beautiful, you'll go ahead and put all your qualms to the side and say, you know what, I want this one woman so bad that I'm willing to break my own rules in order to be with her, right? So for example, you see a beautiful woman and she gives you any type of play, you're willing to go above and beyond. You're instead of taking her on, let's say you're the type of guy, you're a red pill community guy, and you don't spend a lot of money on dates because you feel that if she really likes you, you shouldn't have to spend all that money. However, for this woman that you perceive as a 9 or a 10, you're willing to do, in the beauty department, you're willing to go to that expensive restaurant because you want to impress her, right? Let me tell you something. She's been beautiful all her life. That is not impressing her. That's like the entry ticket to play in her game, right? To enter her arena. All right, and just because she allows you to take her on a date doesn't mean you're getting anywhere, right? Because I guarantee you, if you were the guy that she was into, you wouldn't have to do all that. There's a saying, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Women make rules for betas, but they break rules for alphas, right? What do I mean by that? A woman to have these standards that she's all set to stick to. And, I'm not going to let a guy do this. A guy has to do this, this, and this if he wants to date me or wants to have sex with me. He has to meet these certain criteria. I'm looking for a guy who has this, and this going on in his life. And then you'll see that same person, if you're lucky enough to catch a snapshot of her life, breaking all of these rules for this guy. This guy don't have, a promising career, or he doesn't treat her the way that she says she wants to be treated, but because he's an alpha and he's a pretty boy or whatever she deems attractive, she allows him to break rules, right? So you have to look and say, everything that glitters is not gold. Just because this woman is shining to me doesn't mean she's for me. So it's going to turn out to be fool's gold. You think you struck the jackpot, and all you did was add yourself more stress and another bill, right? And, the other bill part is, even if you, do successfully win this woman over, right? You say you do all the things to impress her. She finally, relents. And which is what guys are hoping to happen. She relents and she lets you get a piece of that. And she decides, hey, I don't have nothing else going on. This guy's, doing all these things for me. I'm going to date him. Now you have to maintain whatever you did to get her, right? And now you get into the root of everything. Now you really get to see who she really is, because now you're no longer enamored just by her beauty. Some guys stay enamored throughout their whole relationship, but some guys wake up and they're like, you know what? This is where, everything that glitters isn't gold part comes in. She has a trash personality. She doesn't want to help you around. She doesn't want to help you around the house. She doesn't want to contribute to the house financially, right? She doesn't want to do anything to contribute romantically to you. And even in the bedroom, the thing that she may do for the person she's super attracted to, she's not doing for you, right? So now you're putting in all this work in every aspect of your life, because you go in that bedroom, you're trying to please her because you want her to look at you the way that you look at her, right? So every time that you are doing something, you're like, well, if I continue to do these things, maybe she'll see how good of a person I am, how good of a boyfriend I am, how good of a husband I am, if you got that far. And, she'll reciprocate. I'll tell you something. If she's not doing that from the jump, if she's not doing that in the beginning, there is almost zero chance that she will do it later on, right? And even the people who do it in the beginning, they fall off, right? They do enough to get you to wife them up, right? But more 9 times out of 10, with a super attractive woman, she doesn't have to do anything, right? She's used to not doing anything. She's used to not having to put forth a ton of effort in order to secure a man, because she has so many men that's chasing her. So the next thing, as one of my friends would say, because she's never had to do anything to get a guy, she's never had to develop a personality, right? She has the personality of a cardboard box, right? Because everybody's had to perform for her. Back to the whole phrase of being a court jester, right? And this is a court jester times 1,000, because she knows she's attractive, and she knows that any guy, even if you're not willing to perform for her, another guy will, right? So what incentive does she have to perform and live up to her end of the bargain in a relationship? She doesn't have to. Her DMs are always flooded. She gets offers every day, just like most women do, but she gets high quality offers from guys that you probably can't compete against, right? And all she's sitting there doing is, even if she's content to stay in a relationship because of what you're doing for her, she knows she doesn't have to do anything more than what she's doing right now, which is probably doing nothing, to continue to stay in a relationship, because she can just move on, right? So, we guys, we need to really take a step back and stop evaluating women just off of their looks alone, right? To me, in my opinion, if you're super attracted to these 9 and 10s, it would be better for you to get a 7 or an 8 that is into you than to get a 9 and 10. I mean, most guys can't probably get a 9 and 10 unless you're in that, that top 10% of men. But even if you are in the top 10% of men, instead of sitting there and saying, well, I'm going to go ahead and get this 9 or a 10 to build with like a jackass, I'm going to go ahead and get the 7 or 8 that's going to go all out for me, because she knows I can get a 9 or a 10, right? You got to use the woman's logic against them. And I think most guys are not prepared to make that sacrifice. Like I said, we look at everything and say, well, she's beautiful. That's all that's necessary. Right? What happens when she's not as beautiful? I mean, everybody gets old. Right? So now you got this woman that you've clung to for dear life for however many years until she starts to become, less attractive. Right? And she still doesn't do the things that you require out of her. And now she's less attractive. So you don't even have the looks to look at her anymore, right? And she does nothing else to compensate for what she's missing. And, majority, unless she just lets herself go, if she still maintains that attractive level into her, late 40s, early 40s, late 40s, when she's done with you, she can just go out and get another guy. So, by the time it's all said and done, you wasted your energy on a person who didn't actually contribute to your life. That's crazy. All for looks, right? All for looks. All for, saying, I got this one. Now, there's a saying, well, guys, you get trophy wives, right? When you get a trophy wife if you don't need her to contribute to your life, right? And what I mean by that is you're so financially well off that all she is a showpiece, because that's all you need her to be, is a showpiece. You don't need her to cook. You don't need her to clean. You don't need her to help rear the children. You don't need her to do anything but sit there and look pretty. If you're not at that level financially, and I mean that level financially, I'm talking about, this is in the millions, then you don't need a trophy wife. You need a homemaker. You need a home builder. Someone that you can say, I can rely on this person to hold me down while I go out there and breadwin, right? And you're not going to get that from someone who thinks that the world revolves around them. All you're going to get is another child to take care of, right? They don't think they have to do anything special to continue to maintain the relationship. So I challenge you guys, when you go out and you're looking at you're out and about and you're looking at these women, stop looking at the 9s and 10s and, thinking that they're great and that you're willing to blow everything for them. I'm not saying don't approach a 9 to 10. And that's not, I'm not saying that, but you don't have to break your boundaries, like I said in another video, for this woman. You need to maintain the same type of energy that you have for a 5 or a 4, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all people, they're all human beings. So I say all that because what you need to start doing is start paying more attention to who you are instead of paying attention to who this person is. Because the value that you think that they're adding to your life because they're beautiful is going to be a net subtraction when it's all said and done. Anyway, that's just a quick short vid I wanted to put out for you guys. Get you guys thinking, get the wheel turning in your head. Anyway, this is Building Better Lives podcast. If you could do me a favor once again, if you got this far in the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me, or at least hit me a like and drop a comment below if you agree with me. If you agree that you should, date a little bit lower as far as the looks department, or if you say screw that, I'm gonna get my 9s and 10s and I'm just gonna do what I gotta do because I like looking at pretty women. Whatever you decide, hit a comment below and let me know. Thanks, guys.